Katie Beats here from Pop Turner, speaking to Maya Rudolph about season 2 of Loot on Apple TV Plus. Welcome back to the show. It's good to see you again.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for your time. Season 2 interests me a lot because season 1, it's clean slate for everyone. We've never seen these characters before. You've never played this character. What is that mindset returning for a season 2? Do you fully grasp this character? Are you learning more? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, I think it's fun to get to have a season 2 because now you get to play. You've laid the foundation
Yeah.
and now you get to plug everything in. And so it's not just all the fun of your character and what they do, but also the other characters and how they interact. And that's the most fun place to be in any sort of work comedy, and it's like getting all your action figures to play together.
I think I asked you this for season 1 as well, but one of my favorite things about this show is this balance of it's really funny, but it's got so much heart. When do you start kind of realizing that aspect of the show? Is it immediately when you're reading a couple of episodes of the scripts? Is it when you go to camera? When does that start kind of to hit you?
I mean, when Matt and Alan brought me the idea of doing the show, that was what excited me the most about it, was that it was this fun of this billionaire, but with a conscience and somebody who was also dealing with real things in their life
Yep.
and grappling with starting over. And I knew that I wanted Molly to be the kind of character that you care about. And
Mhm.
that ends up being someone that you want to rally behind. So in all of the times that we've talked about the season and what we want Molly to face, we're always talking about that because I feel like over time we have developed someone who I think has a wonderful heart, and I think you really do get to know her through her creation of relationships.
Yeah,
Uh,
totally. Yeah, 100%. It's really funny you mentioned that because I have to say, if I look at some of my top 10 favorite films of all time, two of your films are in that top 10 with,
Two?
two Bridesmaids and The Way, Way Back. Those are two of my favorite
Wow,
movies. But the
that's
thing is,
wonderful.
the reason I bring this up right now is because, Maya, you're saying about the characters going through things. It has those serious undertones, right?
Yeah.
They're both very funny movies, but they're very real if you think about that, right?
Yeah, and I think that's a tone of comedy that I love, is
Yeah.
also seeing the humor in the everyday and seeing funny in things that can sometimes be a bit painful, and where all of those things intersect, I think is so, I think we're at a place where we have all types of comedy and it's wonderful to get all of it. And so I just noticed that I tend to gravitate towards something that has a little bit of everything in it. Yeah.
Bridesmaids is top 5 all time. How about that?
Oh, dang. Thank you.
That movie is
Wow.
just unbelievable and so inspiring for so many. That movie is amazing. I love that movie.
Well, it speaks to the nature of the movie. I think that it was made having fun,
Yeah.
and I think when you're laughing while you're making a comedy, that's the best sign of something. My memory of making that movie is happy, and we had so much fun. I just wanted to make that movie, and I didn't anticipate what the reaction was gonna be. The enjoyment was what it was to make it.
I mean, but the thing is, movies like that have lines that stay with me forever. The Way We're Back as well. But Bridesmaids, when Melissa's talking to Kristen, the whole, you're your own problem, Annie, but you're also your solution. That's
Mm.
you take that every day. After you watch a movie
Yeah.
like that, you know what I mean? It's so inspiring and important. In a lot of ways, reading a script and doing the whole before going to camera thing is two kind of separate storytelling journeys, before filming and after filming, because a lot happens before you go to camera. For you,
Mm.
do you see it as one big journey with multiple steps from an acting storytelling perspective? Or does it feel like two separate journeys before and after filming something?
Everything's different.
Yeah.
Every project's different. I feel like that one was a real journey, in getting to the day of shooting because we had worked together so much and we had rehearsed, and I don't get to rehearse on everything.
Mhm.
So for Bridesmaids, I feel like, yes, that journey had different, eras. It was an eras tour, if
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah.
Um but not everything has that, and everything's different. And sometimes you just come in and for the way back, the creators and the directors, Jim Rash and Nat Faxon, are old friends of mine from the Groundlings, and we had been working together. I think right after I think I was like 25 or something. I was doing the Groundlings theater with them, and
Mhm.
so we have that old shorthand where we just pick up wherever we left off, what that you do with old friends. And so
Yeah.
for that one, it felt like there was no rehearsal they understand me, I understand them. They just said, do this, do that. And I just
Yeah.
showed up and did it. So
I yeah.
it's always interesting when you have different experiences. And I feel like
Mhm.
it's such a weird job because every situation is different. So you literally have to take something you've learned from every single experience and just sort of like create on the job.
Well, it's funny. The reason why I ask these questions, Maya, is I'm really interested in the process because I've become a creative myself. Like I was just in LA, I wrapped a short horror film that I wrote and produced.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like it's so interesting. I get kind of obsessed with like the making of things and all the kind of conversations that happen before you go to camera. Because
Yeah.
9-page short horror film, so many questions about so many things before you actually like went to camera. And it's like
My question is horror your favorite thing? Like, why did you choose
it
horror?
is one of my favorite genres. That was actually something. Would like you have you worked on? I was trying to think. Have you worked on like a horror movie before? I
Oh,
think
no. You'll
yeah, you
never
have
see me in
not.
a horror oh, no. I will never, ever work in anything scary. I'm a scaredy cat.
But there's
No.
some people
The
that have been
answer
on
is
my
no.
show that have been like in some of the scariest movies I've ever seen, and they cannot watch horror movies. They get too scared. Maybe
I couldn't read the script. I wouldn't even be able to, like, see the props.
I do love horror movies.
I find that so fascinating that there are
Yes.
some people that love them. I don't understand it because they scare me so badly that I don't know what it is. Like, are you excited? Is it the
It's
adrenaline
the
rush?
adrenaline. It's the equivalent of going on a roller coaster. But it's funny. A
Oh
lot of the people that
god.
don't like horror movies also don't like roller coasters, so they go like
I like
hand in.
roller coasters,
Okay.
but I don't like seeing people sliced.
Well, it's also like they've become like the psychological component of them made them so real, right?
Yeah, that's a no from me, dog.
Okay.
No.
No, absolutely. No, it happens, but it is the genre right now, though. It's crazy. I'm sure you have a lot of
I
colleagues that
I
are,
hear that. I mean,
yeah.
listen, when they show those, like, when you're watching something on TV and then, like, the trailer for some sick, terrifying thing comes on, I have to shut my eye. Like, I can't even
Mhm.
watch the trailer on
Wow.
TV.
Wow.
I will be a mess.
Yeah,
You're like,
that's
"Lady, what's wrong with you?"
I mean, my coping mechanism, like when I saw the trailer for The Grudge with Sarah Michelle Gellar in the movie theaters, I got so terrified. My coping
I don't even know who's in The Grudge. That's how afraid of it
okay,
I
but
am.
my coping mechanism was it's okay, it's not real, it's just Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That was my coping
Well, yeah,
mechanism.
you have to do that stuff.
Yeah,
That's
with
why
Ryan
my
Reynolds of
girlfriend
Amityville
at the
Horror,
time
it's like it's Van Wilder, it's not real. That's what I did, so it
again,
helped.
didn't know Ryan Reynolds was in that.
All good. Last
Truly,
question.
truly know nothing about horror.
But, but yeah,
I mean,
it's
I've
all
seen
good.
The Exorcist and I'm screwed. It ruined everything. It's the most terrifying film I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's very scary. It's one of the best. Last question before we wrap up. I did want to ask, you know, when you worked on SNL for such a long time, was it one of those things where, there was always because it was so quick and there's a big process of like the week of a show, and I think that people don't realize that a lot. Is there
But
something in regards of the process of SNL that people might not know about that you could share, like misconception wise, like in terms
I
of like
mean,
putting the show
people,
together?
yeah, like the production of the show happens that week. And I
Yeah.
think that always surprises people. Sometimes people still ask me, when do you tape it? And I
Yeah.
feel like live, it's live. You tape it live at 11:30 when it's on.
I think it was Heidi went on a podcast recently. Heidi Gardner talked about the process of it, and it kind of made sense with the whole week. Like one day is a rehearsal, one day is like reading.
I love the process of
Yeah.
it. I loved it working there. I love it when I go back. I love thinking about how incredible it is to put on a show
Mhm.
in that short amount of time. I mean, the Monday's pitch, Tuesday's supposed to be the writing night,
Mhm.
Wednesday you're just reading things and you don't
Mhm.
know what you're in until that night, and then Thursday and Friday are blocking, and so
Yeah.
now you're taping so much, so you're
Mhm.
taping, and the next thing you know, it's Saturday. It's crazy.
Absolutely. It is crazy. I love SNL. I also love Loot, and episodes of season 2 are rolling on Apple TV Plus, so people can check that out. Maya, it was an honor and privilege to speak with you again. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
This has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popturn for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Maya Rudolph and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.